Behind me you can see the United States Capitol, the seat of our representative democracy, representing over 325 million Americans. I've just been sworn into the 115th Congress, and there's a heck of a lot of work to do. Not necessarily agreement on the agenda, but I'm here to do what I can to improve the lives of the Oregonians that I represent and all Americans. Obviously, as the senior Democrat on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, I will be spending a lot of time on trying to fund programs to rebuild our nation's crumbling infrastructure, which will provide immediate employment for hundreds of thousands of Americans and long-term benefits for the entire country. Beyond that, there's much else on the agenda, some of which is very controversial. The Republicans are rushing ahead with a proposal to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Now, that law has needed improvement since the day it was passed. We were stuck with the Senate version. And I advocated for national exchanges, a national not-for-profit plan, taking away the antitrust immunity of the insurance industry, regulating outrageous pharmaceutical prices. We didn't get those things. It needs to be improved. But it doesn't need to be repealed. It covers 23 million Americans. Over 500,000 Oregonians are covered. And a whole host of abuses of the insurance industry have been outlawed. Canceling your policy when you get sick, refusing to sell you coverage if you've been sick, and charging extortionate rates for plans that don't cover much of anything. Those things have been fixed, but the law itself needs work. So that's going to be one of the first major battles here in Washington, D.C. Where I can make common cause with the Trump administration, big investments in infrastructure, hopefully we can work together there. Fixing America's trade laws. I have been a critic since day one, voted against NAFTA and every other free trade agreement. We have exported millions of family wage jobs from the United States of America, and it finally looks like we're going to get a chance to have a new trade policy that brings and keeps high-value jobs home here to the United States. I've already sent a letter to the president-elect, stating, what I think are the principles we need in a new trade policy. I did a press conference with the president of the AFL-CIO and other members of Congress who've been active on this issue. We have an agenda to fix NAFTA and all our trade policies. So those are good things. I'm also going to hold this administration accountable. The president promised to reduce lobbyist influence, special interest influence here in Washington, D.C., and one of the steps was to say that people he appoints to his administration, 3,600 political appointees, will not be allowed to lobby Congress or the administration for 5 years after they leave their positions. Unfortunately, there's no enforcement mechanism. So I've introduced a bill, the Drain the Swamp bill, that would put into law the president-elect's promise. So as the 115th Congress gets moving, I've got a lot to do. I want to stay in touch with you. Let me know your concerns, your needs. Call my office, email, fax. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, anything. Stay informed, stay involved, be active.